From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening, Fairbanks, and thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Woodard. Daryl Clark has the evening off. Our top story this evening, investigators with the Alaska State Troopers are still actively searching for a man who attacked a Fairbanks teen on Monday morning. According to detectives working the case, the girl, now identified to be in her late teens, was walking when she heard a call for help in the wooded area off of Loftus Road. When she went to assist, a man, said to be in his 20s, attacked her and attempted to sexually assault and tie her up. Now, the girl was able to break free and phone for help at a nearby residence. Since the attack, troopers say many tips have come in and each are being followed up on.
A lot of information last night and then today, and that information is greatly appreciated on. It's absolutely being followed up on. Obviously it's a serious matter, and we're definitely doing our best to try to catch this person that did this. Some of the information that we've developed, some additional information, is that he had a Band-Aid, or a pink, appeared to be like a Band-Aid on his chin, on the left side of his chin. He was missing a tooth, and he also had a scar over his left eye.
Troopers also remind those teens that are walking home from school or with friends to remain cautious at this time. They also ask if anyone has any information, including suspicious activity, or if they see a person who fits this description, to phone them at 451-5100. Severely late buses have been causing problems for students and parents across the school district, with some delays of up to 2 hours. The school district says First Student, the company that runs the buses, simply does not have enough drivers. The schools most affected are Badger Elementary as well as North Pole Middle School and High School, but the driver shortage can be felt across the entire district. First Student is attempting to address the issue, but even when qualified drivers are found, there will still be a delay in getting them on the road.
They still faced with the challenge of the mandatory 40 hours of training that the bus drivers have to go through. In addition to that, there's a rigorous background check and a drug test. So they have to train them, test them, and then put them on the road. So either way, it looks like even if 10 people showed up today, they would have to it'd be a good week before they'd actually be able to fill those spots.
Workers are hurrying to get things in Galena ready for people to return before the winter. The flood this spring left many displaced, and the state is trying to get them home. News Center 11's Monty Bowen has more in this report.
As we told you yesterday, students in Galena returned to school as work continued to get the village back to some semblance of its pre-flood condition.
People were able to get back into the community, reestablish their homes, and get their kids back in school.
A few of the families did have to remain in Fairbanks.
We hope to continue working on their homes and get as many people into safe, secure, warm homes in Galena for winter, but we realize that all of those homes might not be rebuilt, and we may need to shelter people in Fairbanks.
For the workers who went there, the state set up a responders camp that can support up to 40 people.
It has all of the accommodations for people to sleep, shower, toilets, laundry facilities, and a dining facility, and it's all self-contained.
Homeland Security and FEMA have been working to find housing for those who can't return to their Galena homes.
And they were staying at the Willow House. It's a Tanana Chiefs Shelter First facility that was being used to shelter the Galena residents instead. It's going to return to that Shelter First mission.
There have been 21 applications for housing in Fairbanks, with the total number of people being about 45. Workers are rushing to get people back into adequate housing in Galena before winter weather stops the project.
I want to make sure that people do have the essential needs so they can return to the community.
People needing more information can find a link to State Homeland Security and FEMA at webcenter11.com. Monty Bowen, News Center 11.
Sentencing today for a Fairbanks man with a history of sexual offenses dating back to the 80s. Peter Charles Edwin was sentenced to 6 months in jail for 2 counts of inappropriate sexual touching. Edwin had been released in the past 2 years after serving close to 10 years in jail for sexually abusing a young child. Edwin was sentenced this morning in front of Fairbanks District Court Judge Patrick Hammers. A Fairbanks woman who was reported missing has been located. According to Lieutenant Jim Geyer with the Fairbanks Police Department, 29-year-old Renee DeFrance contacted FPD and is doing fine. Officials on Monday morning said that they had received tips as to her whereabouts from a number of third parties. DeFrance was reported missing to the police by her mother, who had last heard from her daughter via text message on August 14th. All right, well, when we come back, a report today on mining's impact on Alaska's economy. Also, some believe students should sleep later before they head for class. We'll have more on that. Stay with us. And welcome back. Mining companies strengthen Alaska's local economies by employing Alaska residents from more than 120 communities located across the state. Now, this was the theme today at the weekly meeting for the Fairbanks Chamber of Commerce. An official from the Council of Alaska Producers spoke about the current status and future prospects when it came to mining throughout Alaska. In 2012, mining operations across the state paid over $20 million to local governments through profits. She went on to say that the Mining Association realizes how important it is to the industry and to the state to focus on ways to incorporate energy savings ideas into the mining process.
Well, I think that energy challenges are significant for everybody in this area, whether it's an industrial project or a household consumer. If we can find solutions to lower cost energy, it would be very beneficial for economic development in all industries.
The University of Alaska Fairbanks School of Management is having its 6th annual Arctic Innovation Competition for a chance to win a significant cash prize. This competition is free to enter, a developed product or a business plan is not required, and multiple ideas may be submitted. Participants are encouraged to enter their ideas by this coming Friday, September 13th, for a chance to win an Alaska Airlines ticket to anywhere Alaska Airlines will fly. However, the submission deadline is not until Friday, September 20th, and the competition won't take place until Friday, October 18th. The first place prize will be $10,000, second place will be $5,000, third place will be $2,000, and fourth place will be $1,000, plus 16 honorable mentions will receive $100. There is a junior competition as well for ages 17 and under.
Absolutely. We all have ideas, but the key is to put the idea on paper and share it with others, and then eventually maybe take it to market and help with economic development. So it's capturing those ideas, celebrating them, and rewarding them.
The National Railroad Historical Society will bring about 400 people to Alaska for their annual meeting next week. It's their first time to the 49th state, and they would like to share their love of trains with the public. Sunday, they will offer 2 90-minute train rides to Goldstream and back. They rented the passenger trains from the Alaska Railroad because the tourism season is almost finished. On Monday, about 200 members of the group will ride on the train down to Anchorage and continue their meeting. One of the local organizers says the public train ride will be a great Sunday activity.
Oh, I say take a relaxation from all the hustle and bustle of getting ready for winter and take a train trip. $10 for a kid, $15 for an adult, and $25 for a dome seat. So it'll be a great way to take the family for something for about the price of a movie and go see the fall colors.
If you want to go on the ride, you have to make reservations for the Sunday ride. Call Alaska Railroad at 907-265-2494. Now, as we reported last week, the president of the Alaska Sleep Clinic says high school should start later in the morning. Tyson Paris Hansen has more now in this week's health report.
Sometimes that sound can just hurt, but it can be especially hard for teens before going to school. The director of the Center for Applied Research and Education in Minnesota has studied high school start times for nearly 2 decades. She's found students perform better when they start school later.
So there was better school performance. The kids were more apt to complete their homework, turn in their homework assignments, and therefore get better grades in their classes.
She said 3 years after the Minneapolis school district changed, there were about 9% more students graduating than before. They changed their start time from 7:20 a.m. to 8:30. The president of the Alaska Sleep Clinic says teenagers have a biological need to sleep in late.
Around age 14 or so, they tend to have what we call a delayed sleep phase change, meaning that they don't get tired till the later part of the evenings, usually around 11 p.m., and they don't tend to wake up till about 8 a.m.
He created a petition to push back Alaskan high school start times to after 8 a.m. One option is to start elementary schools early rather than high schools.
The elementary age child is able to wake up earlier in the morning. They have a natural tendency to wake up earlier.
So starting in elementary school, say at 7:15 or 7:30, is for the kids totally doable based on their biology.
We'd like to hear what you and your high schoolers think about later start times. Please leave a comment underneath the story on our Facebook page. Tyson Paris Hansen, News Center 11.
The Health Report is brought to you by the Ear, Nose, and Throat Clinic, located in the Medical Dental Arts Building. Call 456-7768.
Joe, why didn't they come up with this when we were in high school? I would have liked to sleep a little bit later. My vote is yes.
Yeah, that would have worked. I think we started like at 7:20.
Yeah, we started at 8, so
at 8?
in New York, yeah,
8.
right?
God.
All right, so what's going on in sports?
A little bit of everything. You know, we're talking some volleyball. 2 teams are undefeated to start the season, but we'll see if that lasted over the weekend. Plus, the Malamutes are making history in the latest football polls.
Wow.
That and more coming up next. Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here, the Sports Seat for you this Tuesday evening. Let's get started. And speaking of starts, it's been a slow one for the Nanook volleyball team over the weekend in the Flint Hills Resources Alaska Nanook Classic. UAF had to face the 12th-ranked Fresno Pacific Sunbirds in the last game of the tournament. The Nanooks put up a valiant effort led by senior Carrie Knight, season-high 11 kills. Sam Hartoon also added 10 kills and 7 digs. UAF, they were good in the second set, attacking just under 38%, but the Sunbirds were on fire, attacking at 50%. Fresno took this one 25-14, 25-18, 25-18 for the sweep. Despite an impressive rally by the Nooks in the final set, UAF is now 0-7. The Sunbirds had 4 players with at least 7 kills. Humboldt State was the runner-up in the tourney, going 2-1. Then Colorado Christian and the Nanooks. Sam Hartoon was an all-tournament selection. Taylor Sturms was the MVP of the Classic, getting a new kills record with 63. Fresno's Rupia Inc., who is from Brazil, talked about winning this competitive tournament.
I think the tournament was great. Alaska is beautiful, and it was a good kickoff for the season. I feel it was like nationals. They were playing further last year, so everyone was working really hard to get every single point.
We were really faced with a lot of adversity in terms of sickness, you name it, injury, everything like that, but it didn't matter to them. Playing together, but against a number 12 team who could really destroy us, and we decided to change it around. We decided to make positive plays for us.
Now going to high school sports, the Lathrop Malamutes continue to make history with each win. Lathrop is now number 2 in the Alaska Sports Broadcasting Network poll, the highest in school history. Last week they were 3, and they better that poll standing. South is on top, then Palmer is 3rd. Chugiak got a huge win over Service and are 4th in the polls, while Service has dropped to 5th. In the medium schools poll, Sohai is still on top. Juneau Douglas is number 2, Kenai 3, and the North Pole Patriots are 4th. Kodiak rounds out the top 5. Allison also received votes this week. In high school volleyball, 2 Aurora Conference teams remain undefeated. The Monroe Rams beat Valdez 3-1, taking it 25-17, 26-24, 22-25, and 25-16. Emily Pfister punched the ball for 19 kills, and Andy Clark had 33 assists. The Rams served 95% as well. Caroline Everts had 48 assists that led to 3 players with double-digit kills for Hutchinson in their 3-0 sweep of Delta. Annalie Tidwell led the Hawks with 13 kills, while Lena Heinrich and Michaela Heinren both had 10. The Hawks and Rams are both 4-0 and 2-0 in conference play this weekend. They could face each other in the West Valley Invitational, which features all interior teams, while Delta, Valdez, and Thunder Mountain will come to West Valley High School. Monroe hosts Lathrop tonight. High school swimmers into the Westcott Pool and North Pole Middle School on Saturday. A couple of the standouts were West Valley's Richard Chena and North Pole's Hannah Boatman. Hannah Boatman won the girls 200 free in 2 minutes, 8.9 seconds, and the 100 back in 1:09.1. Ching took the 500 free in just 24 seconds. He also won the 100 breaststroke in 1:09. The Wolfpack owned the relays, winning both the girls and boys 200 and 400 freestyle relays. The boys added a 200 medley victory as well. North Pole girls won the 200 medley in 2:10 for that relay win.
I think the team's going to go pretty far this year. There's a lot of fast, strong swimmers on the team. They all want to get to state. There's a lot of seniors who are really wanting to get to state, and I really plan on going to state. I want to win the 50 free this year. I got second last year at state, and my goal this year is to win it.
This year could be a really good year for our team, potential-wise. It's still the beginning of the season, so we're only 4 weeks into the swim season.
And on Saturday, the West Valley varsity cross-country boys team showed up and showed out at the Palmer Invitational. The Wolfpack won their third straight Palmer invite. Eric Hoffler and Max Donaldson led West Valley with third and fourth place finishes, winning as a team by 7 points. Kodiak's Levi Tomet won the race in 15 minutes and 40 seconds. Lathrop Sand King finished 7th. For the girls, senior Brooke Lazati placed 5th in 19:49 for the 5th place Malamutes. Megan Kubacek was 7th in just over 20 minutes. In girls 1 through 3A race, Delta Junction got a huge win with Jess Reeder and Zoya Timoshenko pacing the Huskies, going 8th and 9th. 3 other Huskies finished in the top 15. Also on Friday at the ACS Class Challenge in Anchorage, North Pole's Morgan Conroe finished 5th with a 12:37 time. And that's a wrap for sports. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. Stay cool, Alaska. Mike Schultz has your full weather forecast coming up next, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back into the Fairbanks Evening News. Mike Schultz with you once again, taking a look at the weather. Clouds are on the increase, and we're looking for some rain in the forecast starting tomorrow. We'll tell you more about that in a little bit. Speaking of rain, what goes with the rain but a rainbow? And this one was sent in by Carolyn, a double rainbow. You can see the one main rainbow here, and then the secondary rainbow way up here. Again, if you have a photograph to share with us, by all means, send it to me, Mike Schultz at KTVF11.com. What's going on out at the airport right now? 70 degrees. Nice day today. Low last night, 45. The record high, 75 in 1965. And there's that year, 1992, when the temperature stayed cold forever and ever. 18 degrees for the record cold that day. Sunrise, 7:03. Sunset, 8:32. 13 hours and 28 minutes of daylight. Loss of 6 minutes from yesterday. Here's our satellite and radar. Again, everything moving up from the south and the southeast. Some of this starting to work its way across the Alaska Range. That's what we're looking for, some showers moving in later on tonight. A little better chance of rain with this next system coming in from the west. We've got to keep an eye on that. Could bring some healthy rains to the interior. What's going on across the rest of the state? Well, it is raining over southeast Alaska and raining up and down the west coast from Nome to Bethel. Cloudy skies at Barrow, 38 degrees there. Fort Yukon, a nice day, 63, and partly cloudy skies. Lower 48 weather. Again, hot temperatures over much of the eastern half of the country, 98 degrees in St. Louis, 94 Dallas. Nice day in Seattle, although it's pretty warm, 80 degrees there. And some thunderstorms once again up and down the eastern seaboard. Those show up in pretty good on the satellite radar. But look what's going on here. As you can see, a real good area of low pressure here. This is in the Four Corners area, bringing lots of widespread flooding, all because of heavy thunderstorm activity in the afternoon hours. And later on this week, the jet stream once again will be bringing cooler air over the eastern half of the country, while a lot of warm air continues to stream northward from the south over the western half of the country. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. Here's what it looks like in the northern sections. Clouds and fog in Barrow, rain and fog for Nome, and afternoon rain at Fort Yukon. In the interior, we'll be looking at periods of rain through the day for both Healy and Fairbanks. While over southeast Alaska, it looks like for the most part, chance of rain for Juneau, mostly cloudy skies for Ketchikan. Out to the southwest, again, a mixed bag of weather. Cloudy skies for Bethel and Kodiak, but rain expected at Cold Bay. And over the south central regions, again, looking at showers for Anchorage and Homer, and rain in Valdez. Okay, time once again for our kids' weather. And all this week, we're talking with the kids from Crawford Elementary School. Tonight, a young man talking about a bad storm.
Once we lived in Montgomery, Alabama, and there was a really big storm. And right behind our house, there was a little field, and a small cyclone began to form and threw a bunch of crops into our backyard. Luckily, the cyclone died out right before it became a tornado.
Again, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank for sponsoring Kids Weather Watch. Tomorrow night, another young man will be here with a weather question. Here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. Looking at increasing clouds with a chance of rain later on, 45 degrees for the overnight low. Tomorrow's forecast, 59 degrees, periods of rain into the evening hours, and the extended forecast for the 5-day period calling for cloudy skies on Saturday, actually say Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and even on Sunday. And then the next chance of rain will be on Monday. Daytime highs cooling down a little bit over the weekend, only in the 50s with overnight lows right around 40 degrees each day, but still none of that real cold temperatures to look forward to, so we'll keep things going the way they are.
So that'll give me time to get my backyard taken care of for winter to come.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, I like that necklace. It's a nice necklace.
Yes, I do have to mention again that I'm being sponsored by Leah Sophia Leslie Williams. She's a representative. Does a really nice job, and there's a lot of nice things to choose from, so you can go check her out on Facebook or on my Facebook.
I've seen the catalog. It's good for Christmas ideas.
Christmas is just around the corner.
It is.
You know?
Wow.
Yes, you know, all right. Well, that will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. As always, we are very glad you could join us.
Remember, for all of our news, sports, and weather, you can go to webcenter11.com.
And that will do it from all of us here at the News Center, leaving you tonight with more of the beautiful fall foliage that we have around the Fairbanks area. We'll see you back here at 11. Good night.